Hey everyone, hey and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host Tom Quee. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we have, someone that I'm really happy to welcome back to the show. But just before we get into that, I want to say all the stuff you normally hear. Please follow us at Battle Rap Resume. Please subscribe to the channel on YouTube, on iTunes. Go on the YouTube channel and look back. There's loads of stuff on there that I've done early on, like my most disliked series. There's currently going to be my Exploring Don't Flop Extra series, which is on there as well. And tons of other highlights. Go on there. Please also check us out at patreon.com/Battle Rap Resume if you want to listen to the episodes first. If you want some exclusive episodes, go on Redbubble. Email me as well, battlerapresume@gmail.com, all that good stuff. But Bard, your last battle was in like July, June. We're now in January of the following year. What have you been doing in your break?
I'd love to say like I learned Cantonese and like wrote a novel and learned to ride a horse or something. I've been working and smoking weed and jerking off. I'm not going to lie to you. Right,
but I remember when we first met, which was after I had battled Murta, a KOTR event. And I remember you speaking. I didn't really know you back then, but it was like me and Murta and his girlfriend were there, and you were ecstatic because you just finished like the first draft of your novel or something like that. And I had in my head that you were just there like writing the great American novel like after the Mackenzie battle. Was that not happening?
No. Actually, that's a bad example of crazy things to have said I'd done, but not really done, because I actually have done that. It's being edited at the minute. It just needs another going through, like many battlers' mums, and then it'll be fine. But so just like watching and just enjoying being like a fan again, I guess, for a while, and just being able to like consume the content as it comes out, and not having to worry about like, oh shit, this was just about, this bit coming up was when somebody swung a punch, or this was when somebody dropped their glass or something. Just being surprised again and getting some of the magic back, I guess.
Because it was so intense, your run. You were battling so much. Like I remember in the episode that we did, very early on in the run of the show itself, like, you were just compacting this in, and then there was a title run. And are you still watching battles a lot? You say were you watching them regularly, or was it just as they come up on the feed, or? I worked it out, like on average over like I think 4 years I did like on average a battle every 2 months. Right. So there's a huge amount of burnout, I guess, that you get from that. But I still do watch battles. I still do. I watch the people I know. I watch like the guys from KOTR mostly. I watched the odd like big name KOTD battle. Anything with obviously anything with Disaster and gets a watch. Sure. The Daylight I'm getting into recently. But yeah, like definitely no longer like keeping up with every release from every league that drops. Which because again it's just a burnout thing more than anything else. I like to think I've maybe settled into more of a normal rhythm where I can kind of keep up with things while also still being like a functioning human being in society. Well, that's about to end, isn't it? Because I guess you are about to jump back in the water. But I mean, our episode, as I say, was uploaded about a month before you and Mackenzie went down. And I just rewatched that battle. Fantastic battle, by the way. Like, really holds up, I think. Like, a great testament to both of your talents there. And there was a lot of controversy in there, including your sort of parting third round. Can you sort of explain that? Because I tried to go back into the archives and find the forum posts. I mean, just for people listening who might not be aware, you spend your first round sort of putting your arm around Mickey, talking about Team Forum Nerd. You always save the file, and then you posted something to the back your talk.
Yeah. Had I not done the Mackenzie battle when we did the fists? No. Oh shit, man! Time's a crazy thing. So what happened was the full story is, so we went over to Denmark to do the Denmark show, and like I don't know, like Mickey and Bowski, great guys, like lovely guys, but God, like maybe could have taken a bit more fucking responsibility for themselves. Like it's 3:00 in the morning, and it's like, oh, where are we going? How are we getting home? And I'm just like, well, just book a taxi. Oh, we haven't got any money for any taxis, G. It's like, just that for 4 days. Lovely guys, but maybe we should have sorted some like alternate accommodation or something. So you know how it is when you're just living out of people's pockets for a long time.
and like Bowski kept borrowing my phone and like blew all my fucking data and whatnot. And so I'm just like, you know what, fuck this. So I got back home and realized, hey, Bowski's left his Facebook login on my phone. So just I don't know, like bit of the devil in me. I went on his messages and just searched Bard, and there's the whole. And obviously, as this all came out later, the whole like the general opinion of the staff at the time was that I wasn't maybe their first pick for champion. I wasn't maybe the most representative face of the King of the Ronalds League. I wasn't going to sell any T-shirts for them, all of which are 100% fucking true, by the way. Mm-hmm. Like from a branding perspective, like I can absolutely get behind the idea that maybe I'm not someone who's going to appeal to that key battle rap demographic. But I took a little screenshot because you never know. Like you just got you've got to plan ahead. You never know when things might kind of come into force. And then the O'Shea battle happened, the Pamphlet battle happened, the Mackenzie battle happened. It became increasingly clear that the guys were really keen on getting this belt off me.
Right.
And then the Mackenzie thing came around, and the training days, the training days situation where I got offered a battle on training days against Dan Schrader. Which the KOTR crowd obviously weren't happy about. They viewed it as some kind of betrayal, which it wasn't a betrayal, but it definitely wasn't like loyalty unto death.
No,
it was kind of a looking out for self move, on my part, because you want to break into that market. And in fairness, the way training days was described to me was that it was a very separate endeavor from Don't Flop. It would be Danny Jack, who I've got a lot of time for. We started battling. We had our Don't Flop tryouts on the same day. Good guy who I want to work with and who I think could put on a really good show. So training days was sold to me as like a very separate thing, which obviously it wasn't, because the rest is history. But I'm sitting on these screenshots, and I know going into the Mackenzie match that I am not going to be permitted to leave that building with the King of the Ronalds title. Like whether they just snatch it off me or they pull some stuff. So I kind of build it into my third round. I'm just like, yeah, you know what, I'm off for a little bit. But Mackenzie, here's what you get to look forward to as King of the Ronalds champion. Blah blah blah. And so the rest is history. So I posted the screenshots up on the forum, insisting that I go first, so his third would be last. Yeah. And then hopefully I go, hey, get your phones out, see what I just put on the forum, and hoping that everyone would get their phones out and it would take away from some of Mackenzie's impact from his third, which it didn't. He had a very good third round. He had a very good battle. I'm super happy with that battle.
Yeah, he had a crazy good.
And then and then it was just like kind of it was a burnout thing, and it felt like the right time to leave it for a bit. Go out into exile.
Yeah, it's a very unique thing, actually, the posting of something on the battle rap group's forum that everyone's clearly logged into. Everyone got a little red notification on their phone right there and then. Like, I can imagine Minnesota Luke chronicling that as a unique moment in battling, because I don't think I've ever seen that before or since. Like, I quite appreciated the meta-ness of it.
I think if it worked a little better and it had a bit of a bigger audience, it was something I think that would have worked really well on a bigger crowd, because then there's just more impact to detract from. But I don't know. I think it was pulled off. It couldn't have gone any better, given the circumstances and whatnot. But yeah, like I say, you just got to, on your way out, if you're having a difficulty writing a third round, like just put some little gimmick shit in like that.
No, it's very nice, and the whole battle is absolutely fantastic. But let's talk a bit more about the training days stuff, because I remember Rapping It Jack. It was their first inaugural event. Great event. Obviously, Dank JB went down there, which I saw you did an interview with Mad Dog, and you were praising that battle, which
good battle.
Yeah, crazy good battle, like seriously good battle. A lot of people probably don't realise. Were you there? I didn't see you there. I don't think you were.
I wasn't there, no.
No. I remember they had the roast of Danny Jack, which is one of the most biggest fiascos I've ever seen in Battle Rap. It's never going to be uploaded. It was an absolute nightmare with strangers jumping in and everyone just throwing stuff at each other. And yeah, it was just a bit of a... And obviously everyone going in on Danny Jack's girlfriend rather than Danny Jack, which is kind of, natural, I suppose, for that. But, 6-6 battle, and I was really, really excited.
Trinidad stays biting King of the Ronalds and shit like that.
Yeah, it is kind of very similar in that DNA. And it's interesting because I just had Mickey on the show, actually, and he said that sort of what Training Days modern is what Mickey was going to do, his kind of shoot-off league. And the more he said that, the more it stuck with me. They do have a lot of elements together. And this is prior to, so Rappin' It Jack happened, and then we have this event, which is the Sunburn Free pre-party, I believe it was, that was kind of before Next in Line, which kind of cemented Training Days as a real serious, prestigious platform. But I remember them dropping this announcement video where it's Bard and Dank Schrader. Obviously, Dank Schrader is hot as fuck. Now he is, but even back then, off the JB battle. And how did that actually come about? Was that you going to Danny or Danny going to you, or?
I spoke to Danny about, Danny mentioned it at the one of the King of the Ronalds tryout events that he was doing an offshoot thing, and we speak on and off occasionally, and it was just it became a situation where again I kind of felt that it was enough of a separate thing for me to not be taking the devil's silver to appear on Training Days, and then it was just do you want to battle Dan Schrader? And obviously he'd battled Rachel Black, who's a good friend, and he's really good and he's really funny, and I thought it could be a really good battle, really good style clash, like the jokester versus the more aggressive style. So the match made sense, and it would kind of open me back up to a different audience, not necessarily just the KOTR crowd. Who are great, but obviously finitely limited just by the fact that they're only one league. Yeah. And then it got set up. I went for it, and then things went down from there.
Yeah, it's a great shame. Do you reckon there's ever any chance of Dank coming over to KOTR to resurrect that, or?
I don't know, man. Dank is a very clever guy, and I think he knows where his bread's buttered right now. Mm-hmm. Dank doesn't necessarily need to be turning up on King of the Ronalds and maybe jeopardizing his seat at that other particular table, because I think the sky's the limit for Dank Schrader. He's so funny and such an intelligent writer and very insightful with it. He has legs in battle rap as long as he chooses to. So sure. I mean, obviously, if he plays his position and just keeps his head down and plays ball and keeps his mouth shut, like maybe some other people don't really know how to do. I would like to make it happen at some point, but I'm not holding my breath for it.
So we'll get onto the reason you're here, really, so exciting. I mean, Canel at the time of recording just last weekend beat Mackenzie. I haven't seen this yet. No one's seen this yet. Were you there?
No, I wasn't. I couldn't make it. It's these Sunday events make it a little trickier.
Yeah.
And I had some stuff going down on Saturday night, and then you wake up on Sunday morning and just think I cannot be rimmed with the 3-hour trip to New Cross.
Yeah. I mean, surprising, right? In a sense.
The result.
The victory, yeah.
No, it was Kinell's time in the same way that it was Mackenzie's time when he took the strap from me, and I think Mackenzie, he has a lot of fingers and a lot of pies, and he's repped the league, overseas, and he got embroiled in that saga with those third wave feminists, and they thought King of the Ronalds was like a misogynist men's right activist group for a while because of Mackenzie. So Mackenzie carried the belt in his own way and definitely put his stamp on it, but he wasn't maybe kind of being as visible for the fans as maybe Canel was. And with King of the Ronalds, it's such a tight-knit community that you've kind of got to go with the show a little bit, and you've kind of got to give him a little bit of something in between matches. Maybe Mackenzie wasn't doing that, and Canel was doing loads of that, and also Canel battling so often and smashing so many performances that I think the momentum was very much with him. And that's difficult to shift. If a crowd turns up and has already decided who's going to win, it's going to take it's very difficult to convince them of that, as I found out.
But
I'm not super surprised by the result.
No, and I mean, interesting, isn't it? It's an interesting kind of analysis of the league itself, because when you left, obviously Canel, is top tier, he's a fantastic writer, performer, had him on the show many times, great friend of the show, but, when you left, he was facing Riser and Brizzling, he was kind of growing, but now you're coming back, he's top dog.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, isn't it? And it goes to show again how quickly things can change when your roster's a little bit more agile and a little bit more, when there's fewer people fighting over each scrap on the dinner plate. You can do a lot more with the space you're given. And I think Canel, to his credit, has done the absolute most with every opportunity he's been given. Even turning up, and he had a very ropey performance against Mike Sherry, but was very entertaining with it. He'll turn up even when maybe it's not going to be the best outcome for himself personally. He's very much like the show must go on kind of guy, which I have like tremendous respect for. I think everybody's in the place where they deserve to be going into this one.
I mean, someone like Canel as well. Have you faced someone kind of similar to him, that kind of one-liner that can just take you down in a bar sort of opponent?
O'Shea.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Pamphlet, I guess, to an extent. Earlier on, I can't remember who I battled. Have I battled any jokey-ass guys?
No. Agent, not really.
Not really.
That's news, Agent.
That's news. Agent. No, O'Shea is the obvious one, and Canel very different to O'Shea. Canel's even less rappy and even more like jokes oriented and very more the one-liners than O'Shea, but it's not necessarily a style I've got no experience of being.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very exciting. Have you already started writing?
I have, yeah. It's kind of at the angle stage at the minute, but there's a decent amount you could say about the dude, and obviously we've done and been at a lot of shows together, so we've hung out, and it's that there's that. So yeah, I'm fairly confident that I'm going to have 3 good rounds, but I'm also damn certain that he will too. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that. I'm looking forward to seeing maybe A, what he's got, and B, maybe what else there might be, because let me go on record, and I said this in the forum, like, I'm not sure how much sense this title match makes,
right?
Considering how desperate the King of the Ronald staff were to get the belt off me for the best part of the year, and then as soon as the chosen one loses it, like, I don't know. Do you smell a rat? Does this seem unusual to you?
It does, actually. I think that, King of the Dot. There we go. That's what they want to hear. King of the Ronalds. Yeah, King of the Ronalds have such a fecund mid-tier that he did. I want to, obviously, Bod, I want to see you back. I'm a big fan, but it just, the title match confines didn't really make sense just for the kind of general horticulture of the league. Like, I don't know why they didn't just throw a Lazy Ass Jack against Kinell for the title, you know what I mean?
Well, that was the battle that I had arranged already on the card when Mickey comes to me and says, look, like, we need someone for Kinell, we'd like you to headline the London, the 3rd day of the tour, and if he wins against Mackenzie, it's going to be for the belt. And I'm just like, oh, okay, I mean, fine. But yeah, I guess Visceral has already battled Kinell very recently and done very well. Again, I said this earlier, like, Visceral's a victim of his own success in that he's been put up against all. He's done so well that he's been put up against all the up and comers, beaten them too early, and now there's no not logical progression between him and the title. Who else? Max Sherry again battled Canel very recently and beat him, and then we're into your Carlton Shankses and your Flabses and your people that haven't done too many performances for the league or haven't smashed enough performances to the league to be the top, to get that top spot. So I guess in a purely there isn't anybody else left who's going to headline a 3rd day, and so Daddy's got to come back and take his belt off. From that perspective, I guess it works. But Mickey Worthless is a very clever guy, and I think maybe I don't know. We'll see what other forces are in play.
And is this kind of you're coming back like WrestleMania style for one night only, or is this very much more like you're back battling now?
Depends if I win. If I win the belt, I've got to rep it. and that's going to mean taking more battles than I really intended to do. See, the thing with coming back for the third birthday is, it's a good battle, locked in Les Yosh Jack, which I think would be good because again, he's just so unlike anybody that I've battled before. Yeah. And I wanted, the plan was to do like 1 or 2 battles per year from now on, just maybe, kind of like an Undertaker style working retirement.
Sure.
But yeah, if I win, it's going to accelerate things a little bit. So I don't know about plans right now.
And, I'm watching a few interviews of you just in the prep for this, and you mentioned a few people that I think would be great to see you battle against. You mentioned you want to battle Rivers.
Yeah. So I keep talking to Snoop about doing a gift of the gab battle, which I think just has to be done. Just because again, there's that completely different audience to open myself up to, and I don't know, man. Like I think as I've moved forward, I've adopted more like a punchline approach. So I think maybe if my character and my persona won't go down particularly, it won't gel as well with the gab style, I think my material will. But if I do go on gab, I would like it to be, against one of their top guys. So that's Rivers or Templar Surfer Kid.
Oh, maybe get him on Ronald's because he's sort of ascending there, isn't he?
Yeah, he's getting around. Templar's put a lot of work into building his profile. So yeah, we could do it on Ronald's, but again, the thought of kind of going in and battling him in his own house is kind of appealing.
Yunnan.
Yes, that's my end boss battle. The Yunnan battle is like when he battled Disaster.
Yeah,
is for one of the first guys to get me into UK battle rap was Yunnan, because I came to it through like Holohan was the first guy I watched, and I thought, oh yeah, this is how it's supposed to be done. So then to see Yunnan doing that in more of a UK kind of style, I'd love to battle Yunnan. Tommy, if you're watching this, come on.
It is fucking crazy that Yunnan battled Diz. Like that actually happened. Like I need to go back and rewatch that one. I don't really remember too much from it, to be honest. I need to. It's my favorite Don't Flop battle.
Oh right. It's got everything. It's got the little fuckery moments with Scholar Force. It's got like Yunnan just performing his life away. It's got Diz being Diz, just walking around like the fucking Dark Lord of Mordor. It's everything I personally like to see in a rap battle.
Yeah, I just remember the line where he's like, fuck a bareback on a prayer mat or something like that. I think it was some sort of...
Know what rhymes with unanimous? Huge fan of Diz.
Finally, JB.
Yeah. He's
doing well for himself, man.
He's a weird little guy. I don't know. He's just like, I have absolutely no problem with JB beyond the fact that he's just really weird. And like, he'll take these shots and then act like this. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know where maybe JB ends and Jacob Birkinshaw begins. Right. And I think he might be in a similar place. Cause he's, I don't know. He's a weird guy. I would like to battle him. I'd crucify him though. He's not as good as he thinks he is.
I mean,
that would be a one to pay attention to.
Yeah, and you guys have a lot of history, like forum history, right?
Or TFN originals, yeah.
Jesus.
Before he forsook the noble path, and he took that he took that silver out of Pontius Pilate's very hand.
It's in a way, and I appreciate this comparison won't sit lightly with you, but it's kind of the forum's like the Bullingdon Club, isn't it? It's kind of like where so many big people began.
I wouldn't go. I don't know about big people,
right? Like, well, you and JB,
established characters.
Yeah.
Because again, it was a very distinct community, and again, like you had to. It didn't all just go through Facebook like things do now. You have to actually kind of build your profile just based on discussing battles, and it was a lot more considered. You could have a better discussion. I prefer the old forum format to things like. Obviously, Viewpoint, which is the fucking cankersaur and the winity arse of battle rap is Viewpoint. Shout out back your talk though. They're the real MVPs.
They're still keeping it going. And I guess the last thing I really want to ask you about, I posted just briefly online that we were going live and I was looking forward to it. And Canel asked me to ask you to explain what happened to you getting wrestled to the floor by Blunt Ted in the alley by the Good Ship.
I got wrestled to the floor by Blunt Ted in the alley behind the good ship.
Well, that clears it up. But I mean, why were you Blunt Ted wrestling?
So Blunt Ted is so easy to wind up online, right? Spend 5 minutes winding Blunt Ted up online, and it'll happen. He's like, "Oh, I'll see you at the next event, then, pal. We'll talk about this." And so we came. So it was we came to fucking. What event was it? Anyway, it was one of the good ship events. We were just in the alley outside, that cursed alleyway where everything goes down, and we'd all had a few beers, and Blunt Ted's like, "Oh, I remember we were talking. We were going. I can't do a Blunt Ted accent.
Right.
Oh, talking. We were going to have a fight, weren't we?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, let's have a fight, Ted." And it wasn't a fight. We had a little wrestling match, and the guy who works in a construction site lifting bricks all day wrestled the guy who works in an office typing on a keyboard all day to the ground. It was a good fight. Blunt Ted's got hands, man. Mm-hmm. No shame.
That was that. Yes, there's so many things in battle rap where you wish the cameras were rolling, and that's definitely one of them. But
that's why you've got to come to the shows, man. That's why you've got to leave your house, put a $5 in Mickey's pocket, come to a King of the Ronald show, because anything can happen. But no, I know Canel's going to have rounds worth of bars about me fighting Blunt Ted. Is I don't know, just wrestling sometimes, just a bit of fun.
I can't wait. I'm definitely going to try and get down to this, and I urge everyone to get down for this as well. So it is on the 26th of February. Is that right, in London?
The Sunday, that's the one. Yeah. But if you dart around the country, you can come to Nottingham, you can come to Manny, see Max Sherry versus O'Shea, which could well cement Mac as a title contender.
Holy shit!
When I'm done with Taffy, and then but also come to London to see the show.
It's going to be crazy, man. But Bard, it's always a pleasure to have you on, man. Thank you for coming on again.
Thank you, Tom. Anytime, man. Yeah, thank you. Shout out battlerapresume, support the movement, all that good stuff.
TFN
all day, forever.